I just did an interview and we were talking about our souls planning, almost like this pre-birth planning before we enter this lifetime, and making these plans about what we maybe want to learn, what we want to experience. Do you believe in that sort of thing?
Yes. I think it's a more continuous element. That is, when you die, at the end of a lifetime, you leave the physical body, you don't become extinguished. It seems, in just talking about what I find and what Raymond Moody and Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and the other researchers in the near-death experience write about, the body often, the consciousness, I should say, then floats above the physical body. Oftentimes it can look down and observe the scene that it has just left. Floating above, often finding a beautiful light that seems to be restorative and reassuring, and that the light sometimes is a family member who had died earlier or a spiritual figure, and then begins the journey after life. But that journey after life is the beginning of the pre-birth planning, because it's a continuous process. So I call it the in-between lifetime state.
Right.
It's not after death, and pre-birth is not really, are not two totally separate entities. So after you leave the body, you're restored by the light, you still learn on the other side. You're still integrating what you learned. You're feeling how your actions affected the people that you hurt or that you helped, magnified many times, their reactions. That's a great learning experience. And then you start planning your next life. Oh, do I have to learn to be less violent or more loving or more compassionate, or will I be a teacher or whatever it is?
Yeah.
It has to do with karma, that is opportunities for learning based on what you did in your past lives, your behaviors, your thoughts, and undoing that or learning from it. Not punishment, but opportunities for learning. And then you start planning your life, your next life. And that is the pre-birth planning. So who you'll be born with, in what order, in what family, choosing your parents. I think that it also brings up an intersection between destiny and free will in the lifetimes. Because when you do the pre-birth planning, you're deciding who will be the other significant people in your life, when will you meet, and this kind of thing. But then when you meet them, for example, how you act, what you decide, that's the free will part of it. So the meeting that's stemming from the pre-birth planning, these meetings, that's kind of destiny. That's going to happen. But then what do, you stay with the person or say, no, they're too short, they're too tall, wrong social class, wrong part of the world, wrong religion, whatever it is, or not. And that's the free will. And that's how we learn here. Then when we make those decisions, it sets off alternative futures. The future with the person, the future without the person, the future in case you decided to stay together or not stay together. And that's the interesting part of it. But it's all sort of planned out, and it's part of our master plan for growth. So there is free will, and there's destiny, and they interact all the time.